Thanks, David, for joining us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
10 years ago in Christchurch, there was a disaster, and obviously there's been a lot of rebuild since that time.
Yeah.
And the people of Christchurch took the opportunity to rebuild something that fitted everyone's idea for the future a lot better. Do you think there might be some similar things coming our way in the context of climate change?
Yes. You mean with rebuilding the future?
Opportunity to rebuild.
Yes. Well, if we were to take that opportunity, I mean, that's one of the things with the current disaster of the pandemic, COVID-19, isn't it? But I don't hear from politicians that they're actually taking this opportunity to invest in a clean, green future.
Yeah, definitely a clean rebuild is something we'd love to see. We'd love to see the priority put on some things rebuilding and some things not rebuilding.
Yeah.
In your mind, what are those things you'd like to see more of, and what would you like to see never come back?
Okay, well, I see the scary one is fossil fuels. We need to find a way to live without fossil fuels and do that urgently, because that's the largest contributor to the problem. But then there's 100 other things that we need to do differently. Like there's all the emissions from concrete, and so how we build more with timber. We're a big farming nation, and farming at the moment is a big part of the problem, but farming can also be a big part of the solution. So I heard recently that all emissions from synthetic fertilisers equal more than all the emissions from domestic aviation, for example. Yet farmers could be encouraged and supported to do regenerative farming, where they become part of the solution and putting carbon back in the soil. Yeah.
What are the major steps that you see in our way to achieving that result?
It's political will. Yeah, there's going to be a point, I think, where it becomes really obvious when the natural systems start dying that people are going to say, why weren't we told about this? You know, why are we leaving no future for our children? Sorry, what was the question again?
What are the forces at play to stop us creating that change? You mentioned political will. Can you break that down a bit further? What is it about the political system that prevents us from achieving the kind of change that those who I believe are most educated are asking for?
Well, there's probably a couple of things, or more than a couple, but the big things I see, one is that we're living for the moment and voting in our own self-interest. But if you talk about having to ban all fossil fuels, what we're actually talking about is economic degrowth. That our standard of living has to dramatically decrease in the Western countries, in the developed countries. Yeah. So people don't tend to want to vote for that. But if people were to understand that it's either that or no future for our children, then maybe we can get that change.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of short-term incentives, both at the individuals voting and also for the incumbents in politics.
Basically, our system is based on greed. It's financial greed or political greed. You know, so everything's done in the short term for votes or for money, and
Cool. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.